Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakal, Kodash. That's who the world ignorantly calls God, in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessing, mercy to you, brethren out here pushing this word in sincerity and truth across the four winds, never lifting their hand out that plow. The Habayah Dawadah, the house of David, the elect. And peace and love to you, few sisters listening in humility. All right, so I remember the spirit jumped on me today. I remember a few years ago, I made a comment somewhere on somebody's channel because they were talking about how King Solomon and Queen Sheba had sex, man. And I wanted to get in on that because a lot of people going based off of like these documentaries and vain philosophies, and just things that they hear. These peons, man, are all about hearsay. All right, so of course, the great King Solomon, which is spiritually Yahweh Shai, if you can receive it. But the thing is, they have this notion that they want the greats of other civilizations to cleave on to Israel, man. Okay, but you got to be born of Israel in order to be Israel. Okay, but I just want to get on this story real quick. All right, so this is 1 Kings 10:1. And when the queen of Sheba heard the fame of Solomon concerning the name of Yahweh, she came to prove him with hard questions. All right, so Queen of Sheba, like, she got all these questions, all of the things that he heard. He's famous, man. Solomon got this huge temple, got so many things to offer. So she's coming to inquire, man. Okay, she Hamitic, all right. She's a Hamite. Okay, and it said, and she came to Jerusalem with a very great train, and with spices, and with camels that bear spices, and very much gold, and precious stones. And when she was come to Solomon, she communed with him all that was in her heart. All right, that means all that was in her mind. Okay, so she, when back in those times, and even now to an extent, when you go to somebody's house, you're supposed to bring something. You bring a bottle of wine, you bring some incense. You're supposed to bring something. But since they had much increase, so they would, different kings and different nations would bring tribute to the other person. Okay, and it says, and Solomon told her all her questions. There was not anything hid from the king which he told her not. So Solomon, any question she had, Solomon was willing to answer it. Okay, and it says, and when the queen of Sheba had seen all of Solomon's wisdom and the house that he had built, and the meat of his table, and the sitting of his servants, and the attendance of his ministers, and their apparel, and his cupbearers, and his ascent by which he went up into the house of the Lord, there was no more spirit in her. All right, so she was in awe, man. She was like, damn, like, she like, this man's got everything, and all of the fame is true. Okay, how she saw how much food he had, how many servants he had, how patient everybody was with him. The clothing that they wore, it says there were no more spirit in her, man. Okay, she was in shock by all of the things that people were saying, man. It goes on, it says, and she said to the king, it was a true report that I heard in mine own land of thy acts and of thy wisdom. So how wise you were in all of the things that you do, it was true, man. I can attest to it myself. She said, howbeit I believed not the words until I came, and mine eyes had seen it. All right, just like a damn heathen, man. They need to see things to believe it, man. And it says, and behold, the half was not told me. Thy wisdom and prosperity exceedeth the fame which I heard. So even the things that she said, how wise he was and how much he had, it was more than that which she thought, man. It was more than that she could fathom. All right, even the things that she was told. Okay, it says, happy are thy men, happy are these thy servants, which stand continually before thee, and that hear thy wisdom. Okay, because there was peace in all the land during the reign of Solomon, man. Okay, it says, happy are thy men and happy are these servants. So even the servants, they were happy, man. Okay, blessed be and that's because Solomon, when Solomon first came into power, he didn't ask for riches, man. He asked for wisdom and knowledge and understanding. And so the Lord granted him with that and the riches because he didn't ask for the things of this world. All right, and it says, blessed be Yahweh thy power, which delighted in thee to set thee on the throne of Israel, because the Lord loved Israel forever. Therefore made he thee king to do judgment and justice. So she's now paying homage to Yahweh, to Yahweh, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, it says, because the Lord loved Israel forever, therefore made he thee king to do judgment and justice. All right, these are able to judge all matters. And she gave the king 120 talents of gold, and of spices very great store, and precious stones. There come no more such abundance of spices as these which the king of Sheba gave to King Solomon. So she gave him all kinds of gold, man, all kinds of spices, all kinds of precious items, you know. And it says, and she was paying homage to the Lord, man. Okay, because if the Lord has granted his people with this and his king with this, he has to be the greatest of all the others. And the navy also of Haram that brought gold from Ophir, brought in from Ophir greatly plenty of almug trees and precious stones. All right, so the gold of Ophir, just like in Isaiah the 13th chapter, it talks about the gold. Men shall be made out of a golden wedge of Ophir. Man, they were known to have the best gold. Okay, and let's see if we can get that real quick on let's just see if we can get a little more understanding on that. Which looks like our Pawar. Our Pawar is how you say Ophir in the Hebrew. Our Pawar. Okay. Which means reducing to ashes. A land or city in southern Arabia in Solomon's trade route where gold evidently was traded for goods. All right. Characteristic of fine gold. Fine gold. They have very precious gold there, man. Okay. So let me go back. Our Pawar. Okay, so it says, and the king made of the almug trees pillars for the house of Yahweh and for the king's house, harps also and psalteries for singers. There came no such almug trees, nor were seen unto this day. And King Solomon gave unto the queen of Sheba all her desire, whatsoever she asked, beside that which Solomon gave her of his royal bounty. So she turned and went to her own country, she and her servants. All right, so it didn't say anything about sex, man. You know, that needs to be put out of the earth, man. But they're gonna keep putting up nonsense, you know, thinking one thing that it's not, man. You know. You know that, so that's these documentaries and things like that, and people out here just want to believe in vain things. It never said nothing like that, man. And the scriptures don't have any problem. Like if somebody has sex with somebody, the Lord will put it in the scriptures, man. Okay, the Lord will put it in here. And see, that's what people don't understand. So if Solomon would have had sex with Queen Sheba, the Lord would have put that in, especially with a visit like this, man. So he asked her whatever she asked, he gave it to her, but he didn't give her any of the things. He didn't have sex with her, you know what I'm saying, or of his royal bounty. He didn't give her away any of his people. None of that kind of stuff, man. Okay, so she turned and went to her own country, she and her servants. They didn't have children. They didn't procreate. They didn't do none of that, man. Okay, and so that is written again in 2 Chronicles, the 9th chapter. All right, so and once again, it doesn't repeat anything about sex. But let me get scripture. You know, because people will think they just had sex and all kinds of nonsense people talk about, man. All right, this is Revelation 22 and 18, and another brother you know, I was watching another brother's video, you know, so the Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for us speaking one thing and be able to put pieces together, man. Okay, so this is Revelation 22 and 18, and the brother Fort Judah, that was his name, you know, the Wadi brother, the Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. It says, for I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, Yahweh shall add unto them the plagues that are written in this book. Okay? And it says, and if any man shall take away from the words of the prophecies, the book of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book. Okay, so that's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai saying if they add to it, and they're adding this portion to say that Solomon had sex with Sheba, man. Okay, that's not a true thing according to the scriptures. All right, so with that, I'm gonna say all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Rakal Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone.